Hello and welcome to Project Finance Modeling Exercise number 2. This is one for timing and flexible dates. I think this is really the key to project finance in so many different ways. And here, this is one of these old exercises that I'm going to try to resurrect, and we'll see how it works. The reason it's so important is that project finance risks change over time, just like your risks in your life change. There's a period before you're born where people were thinking about you, I suppose, at least after you're conceived. Then there's some childhood years, some high-risk teenage years, some college years, blah, blah, blah. Or you could look at the development period, like dating period, and then commercial operation date and all this. So here's what we did in this model. I'm going to clear this, okay? That's why it's an old model. It's one of these things you cleared. I put concession period. I put an EPC cost, and what I'm going to leave this, because I'll screw it up. I'm going to just have we'll have a level S-curve in this one, which is, we'll fix it. I promise we'll fix it in the next one. Okay, and this is really all about making some calculations. We want to have a monthly construction period, a semi-annual operating period, and we want to have a concession period that I guess depends on the 30 years, that it starts from construction, not from operation. Okay, and I'm going to I better not insert a line because I put on silly little macros in here. I'm going to put decommissioning period, or end of concession. I'm going to put it end of concession. Okay, and that's going to be the beginning of, and here's what we need to use, E date. Okay, EO month, E date, and then sometime later on we're going to get much fancier and make our own E dates. But this time we multiply that by 12. And then you press Shift Control 3 and you get your date. Okay. And the start of operation, I just put that as an input. Liquidated damages. Oh, look, I have some little things here. Okay, and this is not really very good because these are not really inputs. Oh, I guess they were supposed to be the drivers of the little thing we're going to do. Why don't we do the same thing we did last time? So for the operating period, excuse me, but I'm going to have to put a little thing here. Okay, and let's put the start. Oh, no. This is, we want to put this is just a operating counter. Okay, and to get this counter, what we need to do is to compute periods before, sorry, COD. Okay, and why don't we put a little thing here, and that's going to be the number of months. Now you can't really get the number of months from here unless you do something like days 360, and you go up to the start date first, and then you go up to, I have all these range of names here, but not for this one. Okay, and then divide by 30. And then we'll do exactly the same thing. why don't we put if we want the construction period to just end at period 0, we can take this number, whoops, we can take 1 minus this number and start. And then we can take this one plus 1. And what happens if I press Shift Control Right, Control R? That's horrible. I'd go at 16,000 years. Oh no. Okay, so I have two choices here. Look how slow it gets. Oh God. I need to stop this. So let's go. I'm just pressing that. We have 44, not years. We have 44 semi-annual periods. Let's make about 100 semi-annual periods. In the old days, you know, with Excel, there was the, you know, before 2007, there was a little bit of a limit on the columns, which in some sense was a good news. I'm going to do this the old way. We'll put our macros in the next one. Shift Control Right Arrow, Shift Alternate Right Arrow, and number 1. I can't use Shift Control R now, but I can use Shift Control Right Arrow. Now, once you've got the period counter, then you could have days per period. Let's put the whether we're 12 months or I mean whether at the months per period. Why did I do that up here? Okay, and this is what I guess this macro won't really work anymore because I'm gonna do the same sort of thing here. Excuse me for this. This is exactly what we did last time. When this is less than, how about we'll put an if statement. If this thing is less than 1, then we're going to make it this divided by 12. 12 divided by this. Otherwise, we'll make it 12 divided by this. That's kind of. So we either have this we have 1 month per period. I just got my Shift Control R working good. Just stole it kind of from another file. Oh, look how slow this is. Then we have 1 month per period. Otherwise, and that was too long of a formula, but that's the pain. And we'll talk about this in a much more kind of sophisticated way. Why don't we? That was better the way. You know, I think. Well, let's do it like this. Let's put a construction switch. This is kind of embarrassing how many times I've done this. We'll just have whenever this thing is less than 1, okay, and then Shift Control R, and then we can have if this is true, then we'll put it. It'll be 1 month per period, and again I'm going to have to do it like this. Otherwise, we'll have. I did it wrong. Divided by this, or we'll put 12 divided by this. Okay, that's a little bit more elegant. Okay, and I think the next thing to do is we can put months per period and all that stuff, but I think the best thing to do next is just get our dates right. Excuse me. I'm gonna, you know, here's a little tricky thing, but you start at the end. You Shift Control 3. You start at the end, not the beginning. You start at the closing balance. Opening date is the closing date plus 1. And then the closing date is E date, and we go up to the opening date, and then we take how many months we have, and then put a -1. Okay? And now we have a whole system where, look at this, and this is really the horrible kind of part of this, is that I think looking at a big long monthly model is a pain. If you want to compute the days in the period, why not take the n minus the beginning plus 1. Okay, whoops, yes. Okay, and then now we can put in our construction expenditures. We'll put the total, the cost, and the cost was this, and our period was 108, right? I hope. And then so what we can do is take this cost divided by this one multiplied by the construction switch. Okay. And then why don't we, to get the operation switch, why don't we, I'm sure it was there. Okay, I'm going to have to take the macros out. I'm not sure what I'll do. The operation switch is, why don't we put the start date for the operation, which is this one, Shift Control 3, an end date for the operation, which is the end of the concession, Shift Control 3, put an AND function and test our opening date. That's just like we did before in the last exercise. Take that, and that's got to be greater than or equal to our start of construction. And I better press the F4 because everything from that column, and then you take that and you make it less than this one. And here's, you might say, oh, that should have been less than or equal to. Maybe you were right. But here's the way to test it. You can you simply use a COUNTIF. Okay. Oh, come on. I have to stop this crying business. Okay. Alright, and then we can go to this range and then put true. My friend Tim told me we have something very, very wrong. Well, it's because it's in January of 2038, and we had the concession period. How long was the construction period? We can't have that. How about you can see when I made this model, we'll start it in 2015. Why don't we start it? Instead of January. Well, let's leave it. And let's end it 2017, so we have 45 years. Is that, I should have put the, no, that's not a good test. Well, so what? The other thing we can do, by the way, I think this is a pretty nifty thing to do. Go down, oh, whoops, I put this annual data. Definitely this has to change. To make a conditional formatting, we might need a couple of rows. And I have to see this. It doesn't work when you insert quite right. But if we want just to put our construction period, and we can use this conditional formatting and always be really cool, because you say, I'm not using that other stuff. I'm using my new rule. That's always kind of the one you want to use, and you just click on this one. And it's like a true-false function, and if you leave it blank, it's going to test whether it's true. So for the construction period, let's format this as some kind of really light color. I don't know what's the lightest one we have here. Okay. you could do the same thing for the operating switch. We do that. Go to Home, Conditional Formatting, and New Rule, and use a formula because we're very sophisticated. And this time, just take this one, press the F4 one time, and then let's make that one a little bit of a different color. I used that one before. Okay, and this, you can say, this is kind of overboard, but we can see that we're into the operation period, and one day we die. Okay, and so let's put the operating cash flow in here, and our operating cash flow is, what is this? Our annual cash flow is this. So cash, period, cash. We don't even inflate it or anything yet. We'll work on all of those, don't worry. And then we put this and divide it by our 2 periods here. So we just take this one, press the F4 button, it's F3, and multiply it by the operation switch. Okay. Oops, why didn't I press Shift Control R? And then we can get our net cash flows. This minus that. And then we can put our IRR as just this whole column. What is this business with the, oh, there was some liquidated damages. Okay. Oh, that's not a very good IRR, but it's an IRR what you'll get on a wind farm in Germany in 2000. That's a little bit less. How about let's just change our cash flow to 30,000. I wish you could do that, right? Maybe 40,000. I wish you could do that even more. Maybe. Okay. Now the next thing, I'm gonna press Shift and F11 and make a new. Oops, I didn't do it because we have this computer, and I'm gonna put an annual file. Okay, and what we might want to do is have a quarterly file as well. But in this annual, to make this annual one, okay, we'll get our 3 things here. Copy these. How about cut these? What is it doing? Cut these, and put these into our new sheet. Okay, perhaps we Shift Control plus a few times, and we make this a little wider. And then how about we'll take the year of the beginning of the month. Can we find that one? Remember that one? So okay. And then we're just gonna make this an annual page. And this is, if I get somebody else's model, this would be often a page you just look at. And you can, I still cannot understand this, but maybe somebody will give me a column why you would not use the entire column, why you'd ever bother pressing those horrible F4 little things. So the first thing we have to do is put a year, so we know which of the columns we're going to sum. Okay, and okay, Shift Control little the squiggly thing, the approximate sign. So we want to sum this for 2015, 2016, and then these better be just single years. And you can say, oh, well, I kind of cheated because this looks like it does go to December 31st, but you can call this a fiscal year that ends at the date of the commissioning or something. We'll get into other things on much more sophisticated kind of date analysis in a whole different page. But what you do is you sum if, and then you click on the entire row for the year, and then you put your comma, dot, comma, and then you go back to your annual page. You click on this one and you press the F4 a couple of times, and I should have pressed the F4 on this one too. Okay, and then you just click on your the thing you want, which is that column. Isn't that easier than selecting the whole thing? And then you can press Control D and Shift Control R, and we have our analysis. Oh, I just made it. Maybe I should make a couple more years. Okay, and then we compute our IRR. Oops. Why is the net cash flow not negative here? What did I do? Operating cash flow, net cash flow. Oh, there was a space. No, that's so bad. Okay, we should have left that space, but this was really okay. I think you can get the idea. That's good, because if you don't have the things in order, you kind of have to do this multiple times, and then you can get your IRR. You can use the indirect function to solve one of these problems. And that wasn't supposed to happen. Pause. Of course it was supposed to happen. This should have been computing either X IRR, which I don't like. It's not nearly as fancy and useful as you might think. Shade all the values and shade all the dates. And I guess we get a little bit of a different answer. Well, it's significant when we did it on an annual basis. So, and let's delete this one. And I think I'm going to leave this exercise here for you. I'm just going to cut these out. You shouldn't see me doing these. And then I'll make a completed exercise here. So that's the end of this one. Enough. 22 minutes. Too long. Bye.